So yeah, Kendrick samples this Fox News clip, but I think just the overall production of this was really interesting. You mentioned how it used like a lot of like different samples, but it also had like this very like instrumental element to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we know Kendrick has collaborated with like Thundercat, Kamasi Washington. He uses
all over Tim Butterfly, those guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like Steve Lacy from the Internet has an opening on what was the song? Pride.
Yeah, when the middle tracks.
Yeah, I believe it was Pride. And so they have like he has all these really strong influences who are just amazing musicians and very unique in different ways, and it definitely shows on this album.
Yeah, I'll say so. I think the Rihanna feature stands out on Loyalty.
What stood out to you about that?
Just because it's like not classic Rihanna. It's kind of
she's rapping.
Little rap song collaboration potential here for the Grammy category. Yeah, that's cool to see. I wonder if Rihanna has a mixtape kicking around. That'd be cool.
That song's also a banger.
Yeah.
It also apparently...
Half the album's a banger, which is awesome.
Good point. But apparently it also samples 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars, at least the beginning of it. So like that's also...
the instrumental.
Yeah, Bruno Mars up in this bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think...
Rihanna and U2. Still can't get over that.
Well, and what was the other one? Zachariah...
yeah.
Crap, I just had the list pulled up. But on the song Love, which... First of all, beautiful song, and I never thought I would ever hear a Kendrick Lamar love song.
Yeah. Well, I actually really like Lust.
Yeah.
Just because, like...
Zachariah, by the way.
Yeah, he's kind of, like, lampooning, like, traditional, stereotypical rapper, get it in, getting the girls.
Right.
Song.
Yeah.
Classic, like, ringtone rap or whatever. He's kind of lampooning that. He's like... Let me put the head in my house. I was like, yeah, fantastic.
It's actually really interesting. I feel like he did that kind of thing with a couple of it. Like, when he was talking about pride, he wasn't necessarily talking about, like, him having too much pride. He was talking about, I can put my pride aside. Through a lot of it. And then he goes right into Humble.
Take that, Drake.
Yeah, he goes literally right into Humble, which is,
stunt.
Yeah, just, like, flex on him, Kendrick.
And the beginning is different lyrics from the single version.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah, you need the, like... I think every time... They cannot pray for me, or whatever he says. It's a little different.
I think every time I hear that piano drop, I just, like, boom, start headbanging to it.
Cool thing about Humble, debuted number 2 on the Billboard chart last week.
Yes.
Tied the highest debut for a rap song. A rap song hasn't been number 2 since Love the Way You Lie from Eminem in 2010.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But he couldn't unseat fucking Ed Sheeran. Shape of You, still number 1.
It's so funny. So, when I saw Glances last weekend, they have a remix of Shape of You, and I don't like that song. I think I've talked about that. I don't think it's a great song.
Lame.
And they played it there, and then it's been stuck in my head ever since, and every time I heard it, I just started singing it.
Bad set, and they got Ed Sheeran stuck in your head?
Terrible. And especially after I saw LCD Sound System.
How dare they?
It's horrible. But yeah, just a really, this album is... fantastic. I guess
as you'd expect from Kendrick Lamar at this point, the pedigree he's developed with his body of work. He has such a high standard.
And it's such a thoughtful album. I know it's a strange adjective to say, but like contrasting to I guess it's like most recent peer in More Life, which definitely thoughtful. There are a lot of really great things that Drake did on that, bringing in grime elements. Yeah, like it is so different. I just feel like Kendrick's in this whole other. He's playing a totally different sport. It's like Messi and like I don't know LeBron. It's like they're both great in different ways, but they're playing totally different sports.
Yeah,
and one's a little bit more.
That's funny.
I don't know which one would be Messi to you.
Oh, I don't even.
If you had to use that metaphor.
The LeBron Drake comparison's been so good for so long just because they're both corny guys and also the top, so I always have liked that. But I think J. Cole has to look at Damn and any Kendrick record and be like, man, like I'm close. I'm not there.
He's not that close. I don't think he's that close.
But he's trying.
So
not many guys actually try
to
achieve what Kendrick does, and Cole does. So like I do give him that notion.
Yeah, he tries to put himself up in that same plane. But think about even like I was just talking about how Love is such a good love song. Like it's actually like a really feeling like song.
I want to fold clothes
exactly.
for you.
Yes. Like how can you like even compare those two? Just ridiculous.
I love that. I knew where you were going.
I was thinking like, you know, Kendrick obviously probably the greatest like rap lyricist at this point, just like bar for bar. But J. Cole gets a lot of love. I mean, even double platinum, something like that.
No features.
No features. Yeah.
Neighbors is a great song.
But he's folding clothes is how he shows that he loves you. But Kendrick's just like
fold clothes for you.
He's talking about his insecurities about love. He's in that real shit, man. J. Cole's still missing it. Something missing it. Yeah. Shout out Shea Serrano. He knows what's up. He had a good piece of me too. So yeah, I mean, probably my favorite song on this whole thing is Fear, because I feel like Fear really ties the album together.
Interesting.
I don't think it's his most enjoyable song. I don't think it's probably the best song. It's my favorite song at this moment because it really ties in all the things on the album. And then he has God, which is like waves. Yeah. Basically. And then he's got Duckworth, which is a great song, but it's pretty much just a story, kind of bringing him right back to the beginning where he was. What did you think of that story at the beginning, by the way?
What do you mean?
You know, when he talks about seeing the blind woman who then shoots him. What did you think of that? Blood.
It takes I always take a while to really process when albums kind of do that journey. I always kind of get hung up on like the individual singles and stuff.
Yeah.
So especially like Kendrick Lamar, I just assume like I just chalk it up. Oh, it'll take me a while to fully grasp everything. So I haven't given it any thought, to be honest. I actually really liked Element, another one of the bangers.
Yes.
He's like, I don't do it for the gram, I do it for Compton.
Yes. That was awesome.
There's a deep shit in that really quick bar.
He talks a lot about family on this.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think he always brings in elements of family. I mean, Good Kid, Mad City, really talking a lot about
that, yeah.
Family is important to him. Pimp Butterfly is a little bit broader lens, but he like talks about his niece and how his niece is like one of the reasons he's like continuing to do the things he does and keep pushing forward.
Right.
I think what was this? Maybe it was Fear. It might have been Feel, where he has a voicemail from two of his cousins, I believe, in there, quoting Bible verses to him about things. Really family oriented on this album. I mean, if you had to pick a song that you would say is going to be like the Kendrick song you remember other than Humble from this.
Yeah, good stipulation, because
Humble is
huge.
Yeah.
That's tough. DNA, probably.
I got.
Yeah.
So good.
Probably DNA. I think Element, Loyalty with Rihanna, XXX with U2.
I don't know if XXX will have the staying power.
It's just weird because it doesn't feel like U2. Like I'm not a U2 head, so I didn't pick up on when I was listening to it. I had to double check. Like, oh, this U2 song? Oh, God, yeah, that's Bono, right?
Which is interesting because when another podcast, the Ringer did talking about it, they said the same thing, that if they didn't know it was Bono, they probably wouldn't have noticed it. Whereas, I mean, maybe it's because I've listened to way more U2. I was like, oh, there's Bono. Like, right. I was driving in my car the first time I listened. I was like, oh, there he is. Like,
I'm like, oh, is that the sample? Oh, who's that? Oh, never mind.
They gave him like 15 seconds, and they're like, thanks, Bono, now go away.
Peace, bro.
Which is the right amount of Bono for a Kendrick Lamar album. If you have to use Bono, I guess, like, keep it small.
Watch out for me, I'm about to glow.
I thought Pride was also a really good song. And it's the instrumentals that, like you mentioned, are really layered. And he uses his voice as an instrument in this in a really interesting way. Like,
of course, yeah. All the different inflections and stuff, whether it's switching up the flow or just, the way that's what's so cool about him, because he does so many things that just very few rappers could even attempt to do with his voice.
And it doesn't seem corny. Like, I feel like if Drake was, like, using...
Well, because he's doing it well.
Right.
You know?
Good point, yeah. I guess I was going to say, like, I can't imagine Drake doing, like, you know, when he does, like, the deep, distorted voice kind of sounds like the devil or something like that, I'd be like, all right, Drake, please don't do that.
Nah, just do Jamaican Drake.
Yeah, just give me passion fruit.
I'm down with that.
Passion fruit over and over.
No long talk, more tune for your head top. Just watching you speak on my name, you know? Like, yeah, it's fine, Drake. You're Canadian, but you can be whatever culture you want in the moment. We let you jack that shit. It's all good. But yeah, Kendrick, he's more thoughtful.
Definitely.
And like the varied flows thing really stands out for me too, because he's not biting anyone's flows. He's not doing anything that's super generic. He's just doing all these different things, sometimes in the same song or song to song. And like when you think of like, it just really shows the gap between him and the rest of the field at this point. Because think of someone like Logic, a totally competent rapper who gets criticized for being repetitive because he only uses other people's flows, doesn't really have any ones he's invented himself. Whereas Kendrick,
he just switches.
All he does is invent his own flows.
Yeah,
it's fantastic, and within the vein of his deeply conscious concept album.
Right.
So that's why it makes it so impressive yet again. That's something different. He hasn't spun a single wheel from his previous work, and
right.
It stands out all the same.
It's interesting. Like when I was looking at the samples and the samples he uses, he switched up his flow as a sample. So like he uses Juvenile's "Ha" in the middle of Element, just like
fucking deep
out of nowhere. Yeah, but like I think he really has this appreciation for rap and just for music in general that really just comes through in creating a sonically beautiful album while also creating a very deep, thoughtful, introspective but hard rap album. Like it's a very like small target to hit, and he hits it dead in the center every single time. It's really impressive. Like I can't really name anyone who's consistently as good as he is. Like he hasn't released the Views.
No.
Like
he hasn't released the Pablo.
Yeah, hey, stop. You went a little too far. If you want to hear our thoughts on Pablo, though, soundcloud.com/nostalgiapod.
Episode 2.
Yeah, we also talk about Views, but don't go listen to that one.
Episode 24.
Because I
don't remember.
I said some regrettable things.
More Life. Check out that one a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah.
Where does this rank Kendrick albums? We have to do it. Every white person that has a podcast talk about Kendrick has to rank their Kendrick albums at this point.
I don't know.
I think it's behind...
Because it has all the bangers, it has potential to rise the ranks for me.
I think Good Kid, Mad City, just because it holds a special place in my collective college heart when that came out.
Yeah, I still, like, I don't think it's better than Pimp Butterfly, but I like it more because it's less dense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's Pimp Butterfly.
And I also saw half that album live. I haven't seen him since he got Pimp Butterfly out, so
right.
I'm more connected to the first one.
Yeah, Pimp Butterfly, I don't go back to often. It's
go back to like All Right.
Yeah.
Bangers.
All Right.
Yeah.
Black of the Berry sometimes.
I like Wesley's Theory, the intro track.
Yep.
But other stuff, it's like Complexion and stuff like that.
There's that one song I can't remember where basically like Kendrick's acting like he's drunk on it, and he's just like it's really emotional and deep, and I was just like, I can only listen to the song like maybe once a year.
Yeah,
it's just too much. He does a really good job of invoking emotion, which is all you're really looking for with music.
Kung Fu Kenny, man.
Yeah, and do you think there's a second album?
Because he put so much time and effort into it, I don't think he would rush to take any attention off of Dan,
Well, if you think about it, he's had 2 years.
Yeah, he has.
I mean, Untitled Unmastered just a comp album, so.
Yeah, it's just extra studio work. Yeah, but I don't know if 2 years, 2 years, going from Good Kid to Butterfly, I don't think that means he needs to drop 24 songs, all of a sudden.
True.
Just stick to this 14 we got,
That'd be interesting. That was an interesting theory, though. I was very.
I mean, it was just so detailed. Like, there's like the Matrix connection, the color. I was like, wow.
Was that Soundwave who was putting that out or something like that?
The producer, yeah.
Yeah.
And then check out the tweet, Death Yeezus, at Death Yeezus. It's a note listing. It's really crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll get it eventually.
Yeah, or maybe this will be like Kanye's lost album. What's it called? Good
Kid, Mad City?
No. Good Job. Damn. What's it?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it was
that Kanye album that never came out. That was always rumored. It was supposed to continue post graduation in college. Good ass job.
Yes, good ass job.
Right.
That's what it was.
College dropout, late registration, graduation, good ass job. That was the through line. But then he was like, nah, mom died, gotta make 808s.
By the way, did you see the picture of Kanye on Easter?
No. Hair still blonde?
No, hair's not blonde, but he was wearing a white dress shirt and like jeans and like a jean jacket. But
white
the
pants?
white dress shirt, it might have been white pants, but it was like buttoned all the way up. And like
All the way up.
people were obviously clowning on it on Twitter, and probably my favorite one was someone, you know how the people do the thing with the movie sound, where it would picture and it would be like Fast 8 2017 whatever. Someone said Get Out 2000 or what was that the big movie that came out this year? No, I'm blanking on that. The one Michael Keegan-Michael Key or Jordan Peele, sorry.
Yeah, Get Out.
Yeah, Get Out. Yeah.
What are you talking about, dude? Come on.
I'm losing my mind here after like talking about Kendrick for so long. But yeah, they had that, and then just a picture of Kanye kept like zooming in on his face, and he was just like staring off into space. It's hilarious. But maybe this will push Kanye to release an album next year. Hopefully, he's not gonna release one this year at this point.
No. We'll get Action Bronson. Get Logic May 5th. Get Wale May 5th. Care about that?
I couldn't care less about Wale.
Me either. Other than that, I'm not sure who else is on the horizon. We just had a Cole record, so nobody monsters. We just had a terrible Rick Ross.
Gorillas.
Yeah, I'm not counting him for hip hop.
They're gonna be headlining the Meadows this year.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they announced today that they will be at the Meadows, so they'll definitely be at one.
Are they still tweeting all the gifs for hints?
No, Gorillaz actually
Just
announced they were doing a bunch
the whistle.
of festivals, and then I think the Meadows people are doing a Reddit AMA like, oh, well, I guess we can tell you guys this now. Like,
hey,
Gorillaz does whatever the fuck they want. They haven't toured in 7 years, so they're just like,
hey,
check it out. Yeah, it's straight. It's like what, Damon Albarn, and then like
and the animated dudes.
Yeah, people. So
I don't know. For me, the idea of the Gorillaz was much more interesting than the Gorillaz themselves. So
I mean,
we'll see, because like this album, the songs haven't grabbed me yet. So.
The Gorillaz have a couple of really like classic songs, though.
Feel Good Inc. Love.
Feel Good Inc.
That's a De La song. Let's be real.
Well, I mean, that's the thing though, is that they basically like create like the.
He's like DJ Khaled.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're the DJ Khaled of like alternative rock.
Alternative rock, yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Definitely a fair comparison. But check out Kendrick Lamar. You can see a set on YouTube Sunday night. It'll be what?
Coachella set.
So yeah, it'll be like 1 in the morning. But you can watch his live Coachella set if you want, because
do they post the archives?
They'll
or all the
songs.
They'll post
they won't
the clips,
post
right?
Full sets.
Right.
So if you want to see him, weekend 2, Sunday night. He did say at the end of his set, "We'll be back," and people like rushed out to the parking lot. I think he was going to be like doing some crazy shit in the parking lot. That was also the day when the second album was supposed to drop. People are also like freaking out.
Imagine if you like played it live for people.
That would be insane. I don't know, but
that would just be buying into the festival.
Kendrick is hinting at something more for sure.
Imagine if it comes out Sunday.
I don't know, man.
If it comes out, you'll hear about it.
Yeah.
At Nowstalgia Pod on Twitter.
And you'll also hear about lots of TV next week, because we will be talking about The Leftovers.
Better Call Saul, perhaps.
Yeah,
Fargo, definitely.
And probably Veep, and Silicon Valley's back this
Sunday. The Sunday after.
Gotcha. So Silicon Valley eventually.
Check out our Peak TV preview in the spring 2 weeks ago.
The peakest of TVs.
Most peak.
And shout out Mike Will made it.
Mike Will?
This that new Kung Fu Kenny. Subscribe on YouTube.
Please.
Give us a rating on iTunes, and share us with all your friends.
Spotify playlist will have new Kendrick Lamar on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Check that out.
We should talk about which songs to add, and because we can't add all of them, obviously.
Well, of course.
But
check it out. You see it.
They all deserve to be on there. Anyways, we'll catch you next week.